Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 30 of The Savage Tide. I'm your host and dungeon master. I'm Eric Vulgaris, pronouns they or he, and I'm super excited to play this game. I love The Savage Tide, and I'm sorry we're starting a little bit late today. But no, what I'm not sorry about this awesome game and this awesome crew. LCT, tell us what's going on.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm LZT, pronouns he, him, and I'm playing Presco Stormskin. And today, my thing that I have to do is intimidate with snakeness, which is a very good descriptor of. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm going to TwitchCon in about 7 hours, so I'm gonna cram this in and then pack my bags really quickly and somehow make it to the bus station before 2 a.m. It's gonna be good.
You got this.
Yes.
No, there are no flaws in this plan.
No, none whatsoever.
Dave.
Hey, what up? It's a friendly neighborhood Spooder Man. I play a Eric Cochran swashbuckler, aka basically a rogue with wings. My thingamabob inspiration wacky is the pen is mightier than the sword. Write this story at the detriment of your companions. So that'll be fun. Yeah, that's me, Kelsa.
Hello, I'm Kelsa. My pronouns are she, her, but today I am playing Bajko, the barbarian spiller of molten blood, and his pronouns are he, him, and my inspiration is delight in delivering unnecessary violence, which is by far my favorite way to play Bajko. So as long as any violence happens, it will probably be unnecessary, and it will probably be Bajko's fault, and he will probably delight in it. So easy peasy, really. Yeah, back to you, Eric.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so as Kelsa was referring to, I think in the couple weeks, sorry we couldn't play last week, but in the time between sessions, I was thinking about how awesome it was to kill the aspect of Zetsuala, but I didn't feel like I rewarded Kelsa enough for doing the one who did the kill. So I came up with a cool little addition, and in the form of not epithets, epitaphs. There we go. Epitaphs that barbarians can accumulate on top of their names. Like for this one here, for killing them is as you heard, Bajko is now Spiller of the Molten Blood as part of their name. And as a benefit to that is they can use their epitaph and as like, you call out, I am Spiller of the Molten Blood, as you can burn through different charges. And you get 3 charges a day, and through the different charges you can do different things. So for one is like I am Fire Reborn, so you can like do like an absorb element like spell. So you can take fire and throw it back at somebody. You can do Rain of Fire, which is kind of like a combination of Featherfall and Thunder Wave, but it does fire damage, so you can like land in like a piece of like pyroclastic rock landing down, something like that. And then the last one is Molten Rebuke, which is sort of like your blood becomes fire, and so when you're hit by fire damage, it's kind of like Hellish Rebuke, right, from a Tiefling, where it only does fire damage, and then the person can make a save, right? So that's sort of the idea here, is that you take on sort of those aspects because you've killed a great power. So I think that would be really cool to do. So anyways, I wanted to just make sure you all know what we're talking about from that, because that's changed. And anyways, let's do the previously on. So on episode 29, the party faced down the gigantic Tyrannosaurus Rex, Tumwati Tukwani, the great T-Rex that was hovering around the tar pits, its known domain, and they earned the renown of the local Fanatin tribe. Remember, the Fanatins are sort of like these flying squirrel raccoon-like creatures, or maybe like spider monkey like creatures that have a village nearby. They took them over to the village. They met with the elder, and the elder promised support for the upcoming showdown with the Crimson Fleet down in the colony of Farshore, which is eminently approaching. Following which, we finished up the session as they hunted down a cache of weaponry that they remembered and were reminded by the Fanatins from a certain group called the Rakastas, which were an old catfolk race that lived on the Isle of Dread for a long time. And there, they went through this temple. They dealt with a gigantic snake, and by dealt, I meant they'd actually negotiated and not actually dispatched. And then they went into the temple.
Negotiation is a very generous term about how that went down.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll watch the episode.
A lot of insults were flying, but
yeah. See how it went down by watching the previous episode. It's worth it. And anyways, while in the temple, they got the supplies, but only after dealing with a cynical Quattle, which is a celestial snake with feathery wings. Where they learned a couple cool and key facts about this area. They learned that the Savage Tide, the weapon that hit the cove that changed Korak, hit the island before, thousands of years ago. And now they know the source and the reasons for why the history has changed on this island, why the Ullman's civilization was affected 1,000 years ago, and sort of what happened. But they still don't know exactly what caused it. They know a little bit about the central plateau of the Isle of Dread have something to do with it. But anyways, in today's session, I think they're going to continue making their way back to Farshore and try to reclaim the rest of the Blue Nixie supplies as sort of like the last big thing before the showdown. So I think we're going to be doing that today. So without further ado, the party is going. I had this cool idea that as you guys were returning, because I imagine you're not going to walk across the island, right? Let me bring up the island for everyone to see. You all can't see exactly where the Blue Nixie is from this perspective, so let me zoom out. I know the players can, but up here, right? So you all got to travel a ways across the whole island, about 60 miles. Alternative, and the thing is though, it's going to probably take you about the same amount of time, but it's probably safer for you all to return down to Tanarora, get on the Forward Horizon, and kind of loop around and go up by sea. Alternatively, you all can just march across by land. What do you think y'all's plan would be?
I mean, if we take the ship up, we can take the ship down.
Right.
That's true. And if we're gonna get supplies from a ship, probably having a ship is a good idea. Also, aren't the like we didn't take the entirety of the bull sharks with us. They're down there either on the ship or in Tanarora, aren't they?
Yeah, they're down in the either still the far shore in the Black Storm, shoring up, making defenses, or they're I don't think any of them came on the Forward Horizon. The Forward Horizon has their own
No,
crew.
you're right. Okay, they're all down. They're all
And
down
Desolate,
still in
yeah.
Farshore.
And
Okay, cool.
Desolate Pearl and everybody's still there, as far as you know.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely think taking a boat to ransack's the wrong word. Scavenge a boat
Procure.
Yeah.
is a good plan. So even since it's going to take the same amount of time either way, it's ridiculous for us to walk all the way over there and then walk all the way back, because that's going to take us like 8 times as long.
Sure.
Yeah. And if we travel by sea, we can sleep and travel at the same time.
Okay.
Also true.
Brilliant.
So
Okay.
so yeah, I think we're heading back down to Tanarora.
Makes sense to me. Okay, so you're all going to be traveling back down to Tanarora. It's in the interest of time and things. It's going to be not difficult for you all to travel. Why can't I select? Hold on one second. Do it from this screen. Apparently,
I'll be right back. I can
Why is-
hear something.
yeah. Why is your permissions? Why is Henley's token permissions all strange? Who do you, Henley? Let's just make sure panel's set up. Oh. There we go. That should fix that. Yep. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Right. So as you all are traveling down through the rest of the jungle, down this pathway, no, there's nothing like in terms of random encounters of note, anything like that. Again, like maybe like some spiders you dispatch and stuff like that, but I'm not going to waste your time fighting things like that. But just, you cut your way through. However, the thing that is most important to me is that you all are getting more and more plagued by you're having more desperate dreams. I wouldn't call them nightmares, but it certainly feels as though you all are getting a little bit more on edge.
Not me.
You all are
I have
sleep.
that ring.
Yeah, it's true. But LZT, Presco, and Bajko, and even Korik, you all are beginning to, like, you're sleeping fine. You're still getting your long rest. I'm not gonna like steal that from you on these trips right now, but you all.
Yes, you're not going to steal that from us now. Well, it doesn't
No.
matter. Good.
It will come up later. You all are certainly beginning to feel a little bit more on edge. The best way I could describe it is that you constantly feel like you're being watched. Sitting magical wards and protection doesn't seem to like have an effect. It feels more physical, like literally something out there is in the jungles that's watching you. Not like a scry spell, right? Which you can, I think you all at this point know what it feels like, but you also know what it feels like to be hunted. And it feels like you're being watched and hunted. Routine scouting and searching and stuff like that has given up no trace. It just feels as though there's a presence that's following you
I'm sleeping like a
as you make it back to Tanarora. Right?
If it shows its head, I'm going to smash it.
So anyways, you make it back to Tanarora, right? The great Ulman city. It's bustling. It seems like it's in good spirits, especially now that the fangs have abated. Everyone seems pretty calm. You can see that there's obviously military logistics stuff going on, right? As people are figuring out, the soldiers and recruiting and all that stuff in the next couple months. So all that's going on. Other than that, it's a pretty bustling little city here. But you probably aren't sticking around for long. You're just probably gonna meet up with the Desolate Pearl and get on the Forward Horizon. Y'all? Like, Kelsey's the only one nodding along. What do you guys what do you guys want to do?
That sounds good to me, but every
Yeah.
time you say Forward Horizon, I can't. It just, I know I make this joke every single time, but it just, right here, Eric, just gets me right here every time.
Yeah.
The Forward Horizon.
Poor guy.
Right. Do you want to stop? Do you want to stop at Farshore, or are you just going direct? you haven't been back in Farshore for a while.
It might be a good idea to stop by Farshore. Maybe take our own boat up there, or at least check on what's been going on, because the bull sharks were helping fortify the town, right? That was what we tasked them with
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
left.
Sure. So we want to stop by Farshore.
Yeah. Hey, where was that emerald mine? Was it on Farshore Island?
Yeah, it was on
Or was it-
Farshore.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So the first things you all see as you're coming into Farshore is that you see there's several boats moored out. They're trying to dredge and dig up parts or fill in parts of the harbor to make it so ships can't come in. So rather than having like the full like breadth of the bay to come in, you can only come in from like one side. They're basically making like sandbars, right, to stop multiple ships from being able to come in to shore. So that's the first thing you're kind of seeing. That's where most of the effort's going on right now. You can see that there's several watchtowers being constructed as well. You can see there's a couple like trebuchet, like siege weapons kind of built up around those watchtowers, like that could clearly like hit. The idea is that they're, it's like any classic tower defense, like they're trying to get in, like the kill box is sort of that spot in the sandbar where like they have to turn around the corner where they all get bunched up and slowed down. So like you can see that everything's kind of got a good spot from there. It doesn't require a like some sort of like warfare or tactics roll or anything like that to realize what you're doing. It's like, oh yeah, that seems pretty smart. So anyways, you all are doing great there. Everything seems to be going on. It's not like you can see people from the shore or anything like that. But when you all arrive in Farshore, you see that while things are being industrious, morale around isn't very good. People feel pretty desperate, and they see you, and they feel kind of like, oh boy, this is either good or bad. But they see that you're alive. It feels good. So I think you're all going to get met by the governor again, by Lord Mayor Vanchi, who's hastily coming down to the docks to see you all.
Hey guys, how many armies?
Hi, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, I wonder. Yeah, he's probably one of the first things. He's like, well, I'm. Hey, so how's it going? How's the armies and everything happening? I don't. And he kind of looks at the ship, doesn't really see anyone else on it.
Let me tell you, 650 victory points, bro.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Can I sell those victory points?
So we got the Almond Army, we got Cat People Army, and we got a whole bunch of masterwork weapons. Here you go, check it out. Look at all these weapons over here.
Yeah.
Cool, huh?
So you show off the armory that you got from the Rakasa Temple. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is nice stuff. I'm sure our colonists could put this to great use. This is wonderful. And you said you got you secured the forces of the Ulmans?
That we did.
See, that's perfect.
Very generous people.
This is why I'm a great governor, because I know how to find the right people to get things done. And he like does like a big old like smile like to everyone around, like it's kind of like a press junket kind of thing, right? Like, see, look how good I am. He's really trying to pretend and take all credit for y'all's hard work right now.
But Boschko just stands in
Absolutely.
the background and like mad dogs him a little bit. He doesn't say anything. He's just like very large, very muscular, and intimidating just in his general presence as he listens to this mayor pat himself on the back.
Yeah. And you could see like the town kind of rolls their eyes. Anyone kind of following around watching. So that's good. You definitely got the sentiment that people feel like this was sort of a fool's errand and that we're doomed. But now that you're mentioning that you got this support, they're like, oh, there might be a chance. You might be able to pull this off.
650 victory points.
Yeah. Yeah. So the big thing here is you can still see though that the town is straining under Maravanchi's rule. Like that's the big thing I want to communicate with you all here, and that like everyone like this.
Right now? Is that the dude we're talking to right now?
Yeah, the Governor Maravanchi. Okay. Yeah, and that he's not like a bumbling idiot. He's just kind of self-centered and he's more braggadocious. and wants to make everything about him, and people feel like he's not the best ruler, right?
All right,
So,
I got the perfect plan for this, Eric Bulgaris.
all right, tell
The
me.
perfect plan. Okay. So my plan is to convince this man to come with us because we need his help negotiating with armies and people and stuff.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to open a document.
Yeah, I'm thinking if that's possible.
Like ideally, I want to pander to him in such a high regard that. Huh? No, it's not. Sorry. I want to pander to him and play him up as much as possible to the point where he thinks it's his idea to come with us. Like that's the sort of intention that I have with it
Right.
with this, you know.
Oh yeah. So
Like
I see what you're trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. My first gut is like, there's no way he would like leave the town and give other credit for that. But now that you mention it,
you know,
yeah, you're playing it to his
he
strengths.
could be the single-handedly be responsible for saving Farshore by bringing allies it so desperately needs. You know. And then we're out in the open ocean. I don't know. Bajko can do a thing.
It's like, well, I mean, that everyone knows. I can make a great negotiation with powers, but you know, my home is here, and I really should be looking after everybody. And so basically, it requires a roll from you, right?
Obviously, I'm more than happy to roll, Eric.
Yeah, this is a persuasion, right? You're really trying to convince him this is in his
a
best interest.
role-playing game.
Yeah. This is his
persuasion.
best interest, and really, now that you think about it, it really was his idea to do this. Go on.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he did say he got everyone. I'm interested. I'm rolling at an 8, guys. I think this is fairly important for morale because there's a much better leader here at this base, obviously, right? That other lady, I forget her name now.
Lavinia, yeah.
Lavinia, yeah.
Or one of you all could do it.
I think I'm going to use my inspiration. I'm going to burn it here.
Can I help? Because the governor kind of respects me as the captain person. I was wondering if that might.
Would that just give me a free inspiration?
You do. He does. If you can help LZT, one way I can see you helping is he does kind of owe you a favor. Remember?
Yeah.
But you would be calling that favor in.
I'll do that.
Okay. Then, you know what? Henley, I don't think you need to roll. I think LZT is going to actually take this from you as your help, and just this is the quid pro quo, right?
Okay, that's fine.
If you don't mind, that makes perfect sense. Fine. No, calling in favor, and you want Mayor Vanch to come along. Yeah, sounds good. He's going to bring a couple people with him too. You know, his aides and advisors.
We can dump them at sea.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
I mean, you're gonna bring around like four prominent people of the town, the folks that y'all dined with, if you remember them. So I'm not maybe that's an idea, but also he thinks, I mean, he's not that like cynical that you're gonna kill him, but like just having his yes men sycophants around makes him feel comfortable, right? He's bringing his posse.
I also like the idea. It's like, yes, there's an army on this abandoned island.
Right. So
yes, we'll be back in about a month. You guys just hang out here, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not a month. It'd be half a month. So you all don't have to worry about that much. Okay. So let's go ahead and then let's get ready to move. So you all are going to move and take off. I assume you're going to take the Black Storm, right? Not your ship. Awesome. Cool. And you're going to begin.
I mean, unless the bull sharks are still needed, like around town to do.
I mean, we can leave them and take the ship anyway, right?
No, you need a crew to man.
No, we need a crew. Like
4 people can't run the ship. You need a minimum.
No,
of like
but
8.
I mean, we don't need. How many bull sharks do we have? Like 17.
You have a little bit less than that.
Yeah, but
let me check my
I think you had 13, but I think some of them have died since then.
1, 2.
It's also worth pointing out that a ship requires like 2 teams at least of people.
Exactly.
So
that's what I mean.
You can't just have like and then that's that, because they have to have people that work at nighttime as well.
Right.
We have 16 bull sharks. We started with 20, and 4 of them have died since then.
Okay. You
That's
kind of
right. We gave one of them a sea grave.
yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead and yeah, no, you can take the bull sharks. The bull sharks should help you. I'll just say, okay, so one of these things is going to go at a slower pace. The improvement projects back at the shore to take your ship. You can either pull them from making the watchtowers. You can pull them from making the siege weapons. You can pull them from the trench, the sandbar stuff in the bay. Which one do you want to pull them from? So in other words, which one of those projects is not going to get done?
We need the sandbars though.
That's definitely the highest priority.
Yeah.
I feel like siege weapons is the next highest priority, and we can improvise without lookout towers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we still have rooftops that people can stand on.
Okay.
And flying bird friends who can keep lookout for
Exactly.
us.
Okay, cool.
Who's that?
3. Okay.
I don't know any birds.
Cool. So they will compromise on giving up some of the watchtowers. Okay. That works for them. That's the deal. And so you all go off on the ship. Maravanchi is a competent sailor and navigator, and since you all are going up to the wreckage of the blue Nixie, he is going to not so subtly suggest that he should be the one navigating you all up there. Fresco. I'm kind of pointing that at you, but it's kind of the whole crew.
Who's suggesting that? I'm sorry?
The governor. The governor's kind of like, while this is your ship, he's kind of pretending and doing a little bit of stuff in charge. Think about the end.
No.
Think about the end of
Nope.
of Endgame with Thor and Star-Lord. Like, yeah, well, but we should also go there. Yeah, right. We should definitely go left, right? There's sort of that thing, right? So like, he's not gonna like take the wheel from you, Presco, but imagine like that sort of thing of like, like, yeah, that's right. You did a good job going left right there. That's what I'd be doing too. And then the occasional things that sort of like like the worst kind of backseat gamers on Twitch kind of thing,
Yeah.
Like think of that. Like he's just kind of there. Like, yeah, okay.
No. Like if he gets up onto the deck area where the wheel is, starts bothering Presco, all you have to do is like glance at Boschko. Boschko will go up, pick him up, walk him back down the stairs, and set him down somewhere else.
So that's
like,
that's the scene.
The thing this session is scare someone with my snakeness.
Yeah.
So he's like, you should probably go there, and I just
right.
I'll let you take this.
Okay, so good. So this is unfolding, and Boschko, and so we start with the glances from Boschko, like the silent tell between Boschko and Presco, right, bro? You're just Boschko, right? Like Kelsa just did it perfectly. Like, just fucking say the word, just fucking do it, just do it. I'm here, And so Presco, what do you do though?
When he gets unbearable to the point of, oh my god, someone fucking kill me now.
That's up to you. Yeah, that's your moment.
Good, Captain. We should definitely head right of this rig. Just stare at him, and my eyes are like slits.
So
for some reason, all I can think about is the scary Bilbo face.
Oh yeah, kind of, yeah, sort of like that. All of a sudden, I'm wearing black eyeshadow.
Yeah, do you want to right, so you want to tastefully intimidate him?
Yeah, I want to, like, if I have my usually have my snakeness at like a 1 or a 2, I want to just go up to like a 7 maybe.
Yeah.
6 or a 7.
Yeah. Right. So I think the question here, is not whether or not you succeed at intimidating him. I want to know if you do this in a way that like strains the relationship and stuff like that. So that's really what you're rolling against, I think. So like that's still that's what I mean by the tasteful intimidation, Okay. Like rather than making it so blunt and making it in front of everybody, like does he get the message?
See, this is why I want the fucking diplomacy skill. This would totally be a diplomatic thing. It would not be so much intimidation as being able to keep the relationship at a decent level. Was this?
No, I see
why
it.
did you get rid of?
It could be persuasion. I think you're right. It actually could be persuading him.
Okay, I'm gonna use my
I'm going to
inspiration.
persuade him to not be a dick.
I mean,
Do I get any? No, never mind.
I think
Okay, I'm using my inspiration.
maybe what this actually is, if you don't mind, maybe what this is either persuasion or intimidate roll. You're like helping him on his own insight check. That's really what you're doing. Like you're trying to help him see that, like, hey, fuck, back off, right? And making so if he can see it through himself. So like, does he get an advantage on this roll or not, based on what you roll? Because that's really the skill here. It's his own insight check. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
2 and a 3.
He has advantage. All right, cool. So I'll just roll this in the open. 2d20, keep highest one, plus 4. Oh yeah, he gets the message loud and clear from your snakeness.
Because my dice said 2 and 3, and that's not what showed up on the.
They must have got
That's
cocked.
weird.
Yeah, no, it was 12 and 3 that showed up on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good enough for me.
Nice. So he gets the message.
Good.
From your snakeness, so you recovered your inspiration. Good stuff.
Probably just laying on my back on the deck, feet up in the air, just like kicking.
But Boschko watches, like, Boschko's been watching this whole thing and has been like, come on, Presco, just tell me the word. I'll put him in his place. And then Presco puts him in his place anyway, and Boschko just kind of gives the up nod of like, yeah, Captain.
I love that one word, just, yeah, Captain. I imagine you're trying to like look around and see if there's anyone around who doesn't know. It's like, yeah, Captain.
So let me zoom in on the bull sharks too on this trip. So the bull sharks and stuff they're happy to be back under your like direct command from y'all. Like they're not gonna lie, they missed you.
Aw.
And you all have a pretty good, close, friendly relationship with the bull sharks at this point, right? Cool.
Yeah.
So one
I even know most of their names.
So one sign of this that thanks to Presco's role here shows up is that Lord Maravantry would have kind of scolded you all for being like, why do you fraternize with your crew this way? Like y'all are distinguished, basically nobility or officers of your ship, and like to fraternize with your crew would lead to chain of command problems, right? So he begins to like say like, well, shouldn't you? And then he shuts himself up after he sees one glance from Presco, right? So that just kind of happens. But in the meantime, so like that sort of scene happens while you all are doing stuff here. But I guess there's probably like a shanty or like a song or something you all sing together again. Maybe one that you all made up a verse for together. I think that's sort of like maybe the part that spins it. I don't know. I'm not telling you all make up a verse right now, but what do you all think of that? That's like something you would do?
As long as I don't have to sing, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, totally. Cool. So then I just need one vehicle C check, I think, to sort of see how good the journey is. Again, you're not gonna. It's not like you're not gonna get there. It's just a question of the conditions and stuff of getting there.
Is it wisdom? What do you want?
Yeah, that's basically how you sail, remember?
It's
so
a
I think
tool.
It's wisdom. Yeah,
it's a tool.
It's a tool check, so it relies on a different ability score based on what you want, and we
just wanted to know what I was running with. Because it's query for attribute. Because if it's like, oh no, it's a sea vehicle, but you're fighting against a tide, then it's a strength.
Yeah, exactly. But you always describe how you sail, and you sail based on feeling. So it's wisdom, and a 15 is great. Let's see the weather here. Oh, cool. I was going to ask you if you want. You can help choose the weather because you know this so well. But you already got fair and clear skies.
Oh god, I'm getting flashbacks to fucking Mouse Guard.
Right. Oh, this is interesting though. It is super hot. So this is going to be the issue at the time. So you all are no longer. You go past Widow's Reef and Bluefin Reef. You all see the dolphins and the clear blue seas. It kind of reminds you a little bit of Mullis's stuff. But in the meantime, you all like as you're getting close and closer and closer to the Nixie, like the following couple of days, it's just 100 plus or like 45 Celsius temperatures.
Can I do
right?
something?
Bajko, you're totally fine. Remember? But
45 Celsius?
Yes.
yeah,
Are
it's
you
hot
fucking kidding me?
I mean, yeah,
That's like baby
100
killing
it's-
weather, man.
Yeah, it's like 100. It's like that's like 115 heat. Yeah, it's like extremely hot.
Can
Well, I mean, we got the
can I
sea
do
breeze. It can't
something?
be that bad. So
No, the problem is that it's clear and there's like a gentle breeze. Like your ship is just kind of slowly going on. Like it's not like a good wind, right?
then I'm in the bird's nest, just being like, ah.
Yeah, you all are baking.
Um,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do I have like a helmsman or something? Someone who can just take over the steering
Probably.
for a little
Yeah,
bit?
of course. Yeah, you want to.
Not the fucking governor guy, because
Yes.
screw that.
Definitely
Yeah, of
not
course.
him.
Yeah, okay.
Don't let him touch it.
But yeah, Bajko's the first mate, so Bajko would know the person who's the helmsman. You all know the helm. Yeah, there's
Okay,
there's
cool.
an extra helmsman.
I would call all hands on deck to just get everyone to stand on the main deck and then stand at the front of the ship, because I'm guessing the wind is coming like that way.
Right.
And then I'm gonna cast
Gust of wind or something.
fog cloud and just settle out a cooling mist across the entire ship.
Okay.
So everyone gets to cool off for a little bit. Not
Right.
necessarily like, oh, that's nice, now we can be nice and cool for the rest of the journey, but just like a couple of minutes of not scorching.
Yeah, of not scorching heat. Everyone. Yeah. I mean, everyone enjoys it, but the problem is that a couple minutes of scorching heat isn't going to be enough to help you all. I mean, you're going to stop anyone from dying, but I'm not really sure like dying was at stake here. It's more just the speed of your progress. But yeah, no, people obviously they're thankful for it. The problem is that you have to still spend hours out here with the rigging, and so I'm gonna need something else. I would count that as one success here. What I need maybe like 2 or 3 extra successes here for things. I'll count that as one success for this. What else are we doing to beat the heat?
I was gonna say gust of wind, but it's just a 1 minute thing.
Yeah, that won't help you speed along.
Okay, well the fog cloud, I can do that for an hour, so
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah, I'm counting your fog cloud mist cooldown parts
So not
as
a couple
an
of
auto
minutes,
success.
more like 60 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's one success. I need at least one other thing that you all are doing to help beat the heat. Examples from this would be like some sort of like leadership or morale, sort of performance, speech, oratory type, thing. Another shanty to get people moving, right? Intimidating discipline stuff. It could be, that all that type of stuff, right?
I mean, basically, the only thing that Bajko could do is like set a very good example, especially since he's not affected by this heat of just working like twice as hard as anybody else, and like
you picking up the slack
shaming
is
them into
you picking up the slack could totally be a solution to this.
okay.
So
I'm definitely not opposed to also Pinel doing some oratory
performance jig, some kind of
Jig.
thing to get people moving. Yeah.
Dance for me, bird.
Everybody, yeah, it's super common. It's super common to have some sort of like by musical beat, right? Like that's
true. Yeah.
super normal.
100% on a boat. That makes the most sense.
Yeah. So then, from Bajko, could I just get a what kind of skill is that? Isn't there a skill for stuff on a
you
ship
gave me
that you
vehicles
learned?
water with
Yeah.
strength instead of
Right.
Because this
Yeah,
is like
do that
the,
with strength.
the working of the ropes and everything.
Yeah, like picking up your
Oh,
anchor
wow.
kind of stuff, right? Okay.
That was a
Is
bad
that
roll,
is
but
that a 2?
Wow.
That's a 6.
That's
it
actually
was a 6, but still not good.
that's actually a fail. Because it would beat a 15.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
How is
well,
that even
Can we
possible?
get a
How is that
rousing
possible?
sea shanty from the
I
crow's nest?
mean, I think Bajko just can't there is not enough time for Bajko to pick up everybody's slack.
Yeah.
And he's even being as inspiring as he is, everybody else is just exhausted
Yeah.
from the heat and just are not able to
This is
put it forward.
I mean, this is literally like the hottest day your crew has ever been in. Period. right? For sure. So yeah,
And
that makes
Bajko's
sense.
just going around acting like nothing's wrong. And maybe that's it. He's just going around like nothing's wrong. So he's not like specifically trying to be inspiring about it. And maybe that's why it's not inspiring. Instead, it's more like, I don't know, annoying is probably not the right word, but like just those people who are like all angry from heat exhaustion are just like resentful that Bajko is completely oblivious to their pain.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
So it's just not really that inspiring. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Well, Dave, do you want to give us a speech? Is that or a music performance?
Yeah. I also have my inspiration song I can use.
Yeah. What would you like
I
to
have
do?
three.
Right. It's super hot. The crew is sluggish and moving around. They need some sort of pick me up. Bajko's trying to pick up the slack, just them by themselves, right? And move things around. But the crew could use a boost. They could use a little pep in their step.
Yeah, so it says here, as a bonus action, cast Bardic Inspiration 4 times before a long rest. Inspiration is a D8. So
Yeah.
was that suffice, or do you want me to actually roll to do a check or something? Because I can do
Well, because
performance as
that's
well.
only one person for each one of those uses. So
Yeah.
that's 4 people you could give Bardic Inspiration to.
Uh-huh.
So you'd have to make a roll to
I'll
like
just do a
inspire the
performance then.
masses.
Yeah, I'll do a performance check, Eric.
Okay.
Um,
Play your accordion for the group.
yeah, I'll use my inspiration here.
Okay.
Since I've already failed once, right? How many times do we get to make this check?
How many times? One time.
One time? How many times do we need to pass?
You need at least one more success.
Okay, then yeah, I'll use my inspiration here.
Okay.
I see everyone being Debbie Downers, and I'm just like, we're on a boat. We're having fun. Everyone should be chillaxing, you know?
But it's so
Everyone
hot.
should be. Yes, but
Oh no, we
heat is,
found the origin of the word chillax.
heat is only in your mind. If you don't think about it, it's fine. And then I start
That's a lie.
making a little,
it's so hot.
making a dance about how heat is in your mind and blah 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 blah. You know. Okay, here we go. Boom.
That's good.
25.
Sure.
25
got
pretty
to beat
good.
The heat.
Yeah.
Dude.
Hakuna Matata.
Dude,
heat
you're
is
moving your
on.
feet. The heat is on. Yeah.
Burning ring of fire.
Let's turn it
Yeah.
on.
Oh my god. Yeah. All right. So you just play Ring of Fire.
No, it's Nelly's. It's getting hot in here.
Of course.
That's what it is.
The classic
But it's the
sea
accordion
shanty.
version.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it ends up being like a Disney movie, you know, with a
Yeah.
25, I believe. Like everyone knows how to do the dance, even though they've never danced this thing before.
Right.
It's like Mulan up in this bitch, you know.
Oh man, I was
Like-
going with like Mary Poppins or something, like teaching the kids, and like all of a sudden they start tap dancing and doing the
Nice.
rigging.
Califragilistic splash.
Now you know what it is. It's I'll make a man out of you, but I'll
Make a crew out of you.
I'll make a crew out of you. I don't know. No, that's silly. Like, I'll beat the heat out of you. There we go.
I'll beat the heat out of you.
Beating the heat. All right.
With this sick beat.
Cool. You beat off the heat.
That's good. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. That's a cool little thing. Yeah. Anyways, you guys are going through the shore. Let's see what the day is like weather-wise. Cool. Good. The following day, there's actually rain, which cools off everything.
Yay.
It's the most refreshing. Everyone's doing like a Shawshank Redemption. Like this feels so
Like
good.
a platoon.
Yeah. It feels so good. It's like taking a cold shower when it's this hot, you know?
He was the only man that traveled through a tunnel of shit that came out clean on the other end.
yeah. So y'all feel super great. The whole crew feels wonderful and is in great spirits as you sort of round the cape and coast as you get close, and you can begin to see parts of the forest here. The only other thing I would bring up at this moment is that on your trip, you've noticed that there was you saw signs of a great dragon turtle around the island. It didn't bother you at all.
I've
But
killed those before,
it's moved
as
on.
is evidenced by my armor.
Yeah, that's a good callback. You probably say like, "Don't worry, I've killed one before," and look, see, it's leaving us alone.
I just go tap tap on my chest.
So it yeah, like I think it's one of those things where it's like, I didn't know there was an island over here, and then like it just like moves and you start to see like the ridge of the shell, and then it just begins to sink under. And you're like, oh, that's no island. Yeah. So yeah, okay, so you're all gonna make it to the wreckage over here on the shore. So important things to note as you're moving through here. Pinnell, can you give me a perception check as you are sort of in the crow's nest looking out? I imagine this
As
is
you are perceptive.
It's a macaw's nest. I take offense to that.
Yeah, in the macaw's nest. 22.
22 is a reasonable number.
That's a great number. Yeah. Cool. So the water around here is pretty deep. But there's definitely something moving below you. And below the ship. It's about the size of your ship. It's a dinosaur. It's one of those plesiosaurs. One of the long neck swimming dinosaurs. It's not attacking you or anything like that. It's just kind of like underneath your ship, like kind of like following you, like it's trying to hide. Like it's not hunting you. It's like just following you, right?
If it wasn't trying to hide, that wouldn't bother me so much.
Yeah, but it is trying to hide. Because it's one of those things where you're like looking out the shore, and you kind of look down on the shadows wrong of your ship, and you're like, what? And you look down and you see like a fin kind of like move from underneath the ship, and you're like, what? And you look around again, you're like, what? And it's like it's the whole size. It's like the size of the whole ship, and you look off the rudder part, and you can see like its tail, and you're like, oh.
How did no one notice this before? Weird.
Yeah, it wasn't in the open ocean. It wasn't there before.
It's a coastal creature.
Yeah.
Can anyone talk to animals?
I don't think so.
I bounce my warhammer in one hand.
No, talk, not.
I mean, maybe
menacing.
Maybe it speaks abyssal. I don't think it speaks
likely.
abyssal. I mean, I could maybe ask a favor. Just see two tentacles come up and pull it down. Like, oh, I know.
Yeah, okay. I mean, so maybe I don't. I notice it. I'm just like, oh, okay, it's not doing anything. What harm could it do? I don't even mention it to anyone, really.
Okay.
Great, thanks.
No problem. You have more...
I mean, it's not hurting anyone, so.
No, it's not. You have more...
Maybe as like everyone's jumping off, it's just, oh yeah, just be careful of the dinosaur in the water. Just casually mention it, like.
Right. Well, before you all shove off for the Blue Nixie, you can see that there's a small little maybe like 2 or 3 huts set up near the sort of ship. It's on its side right now. You can see most of its contents have sort of spilled up onto the beaches. But you can see like, there's a couple huts, and you can see around there like the huts are occupied by people.
I'm just gonna invisible fly over and just.
Do they look like native people, or do they look like?
No, they look like
Sassuran
colonists.
people?
They look like Sassuran people. They look a couple colonists. There's some Fanatins around too. Like it's kind of like a little like harmonious little village going on near the ship.
Yeah, so I'll fly over there, have a sneaky beak, invisible.
Yeah, there's a couple of people
Did you say sneaky beak?
Sneaky beak peek. Yeah,
should have been.
There's actually a you can see there's not a Crimson Fleet member, but like some random like pirate or like someone who maybe like was shipwrecked here. There's a couple looks to be like colonists that have been here. Everyone looks like from your vantage points going over. Everything seems pretty normal. Right. So you're flying
they say into
invisibly
each
over
other.
though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see something here. How do you when you cast invisibility? Is that from how do you go invisible? That's your ring, right?
Yeah.
Right. And does your ring have a command word to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's right. I'm trying to just remember how your ring of invisibility works. Okay.
Yeah.
So
There's
then,
a command word, and it was. Hang on, I have the items here. Hang on. It says. Oh wait. Ring of
Interesting.
invisibility. While you wearing this ring, you can turn invisible as an action. Anything you're wearing or carrying is visible with you. You remain invisible until the ring is removed, or until you attack or cast a spell, or until you use a bonus
Right.
action to become visible again.
Okay.
And the code phrase is Bagginsons.
That's right.
Right. Of course it is.
Yeah, you made it Bagginses, you loser. Okay. So here's what happens as you get over. As you take off from the ship and go off to scout and reconnoiter this, the sky begins to darken, and you can hear the sounds of thunder in the clouds above you. You zoom over, and the people on the beach kind of stop what they were doing. They're like picking up stuff from the wrecks. Like their huts look like they're kind of made out of everything from the debris of the ship and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But looks like they have a couple extra little bits of like leather, like some of the canvas and stuff, or the I shouldn't say canvas, not canvas, but the sailing sheets and stuff are kind of like what adorns the tops of the tents and stuff. But you see some people like in the rain, kind of looking up, not at you, but at the sky, and they're like, "Yep, looks like rain." And like they look over to the other one's like, "Yep, well, better go inside." They just kind of like just go almost. I don't know. Can you make an insight check for me? And then they just like go inside. They just put down what they were doing, like very carefully, and just go inside.
Batten down the hatches.
Yeah.
Insight, you said?
Yeah, you can't quite put your finger on it. Just give me an insight check.
16?
16. Yeah, you can't quite put your finger on it, but they feel weird. Like that's not.
Okay.
Something seems off here. That's like they're not. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, oh, looks like rain, and they just gently, like with both hands, like put down their
Like
their
it was
little
already
box and
raining,
crate.
right?
Yeah, but then like the storm comes, yeah, and they're going inside their tents.
Can we see this? But like,
Yeah, you can see them, and you also like everyone saw the clouds darken. You've seen this before. This doesn't require a detect magic check and stuff like that, but the way the storm kind of swirled and got darker, you're like,
yeah,
that's a spell. That's someone changed the weather.
Do I recognize it as our spell that we used to do in the coastal town where I grew up, which we had like 8 snake clerics constantly darkening the whole area so people didn't know. Remember we talked
this
about
is
when
interesting.
we made
Make a history check for me.
This is not going to go well because I have no bonuses. 19.
Okay.
Ooh, that's pretty well for no bonuses.
This might have been a check you wanted to fail.
Oh no!
This does remind you of it, and you actually see a sign in the sky from like the way the shape is moving, and this is sort of like the OG form of the way you all control the weather. Whatever cast this knows the fell speech and knows the sort of weather in a way that is like could have taught your Yuan-Ti, right? Like this is the masterwork version of that spell.
Nice.
Right? Does that make sense? Like that's what I'm trying to give you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that. Can you just make a quick wisdom check for me, please? Because like this probably should send a shiver down even your cold-blooded spine.
23.
Yeah, you're fine. So make no effects, but you definitely know that yes, this is caused by something that the way they cast control weather and the way they made that spell and that sign in that sky, that whatever did this thing is powerful and knows very, 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 very old magic. I cannot emphasize.
I was gonna say,
berries there. This is
do I get
old,
the impression?
old, deep magic.
Do I get
Yes.
the impression that it's less of a please weather change and more like you're fucking
Yes.
doing what I want?
Yes, exactly. And it clearly
Yeah,
has
it's
the
actually
signs of
controlling the weather,
yeah,
not
and it-
changing.
right, and it has the signs of like the deep and the dark and like the far.
I mean, I'm
What
okay
that mean
with
and
that,
what that
though,
means
right?
to you, like, and what that means to you. No, this isn't Daggins. This is something else.
But it's still
not
deep and
pronounced
wet.
baggin.
No, actually, you know what? You would know this. You would know that this goes back. Again, with your history check and I think the wisdom check here, you know that this goes back more towards Demogorgon, but this goes to something else. And there's something else here, and that something else is what scares you. And that something else is what does that wisdom save? You're like, oh, I know Abyssal. That's fine. But there's something else here, and it's not of this world or any world. There is something that's from beyond.
I would like to ask my patron, as it were. Is there? Do we have like a hatch in the bottom of the ship where I can just make a hole and stick the barnacle down and go, "Hey, what the fuck is going on here?"
I mean, so is there like
Do I
so
go
this
straight to
storm?
voicemail?
Is this storm? So this storm like goes on. You're like, I'll be right back, and you like go to the bottom of your ship and like go underwater and like put the clam in sort of like you know. There's always like a little bit of water in the bottom of a ship, right? Like the ballast, not red ballast, but you know what I mean. Like you just we'll just cut to you commuting there, and everyone like knows to leave you alone. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Definitely, everyone knows to leave him alone. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, I don't think the governor does. What the governor is probably not going to ask you, Presco. But it's probably going to ask Boschko and stuff like, "What's the captain doing? We should be moving forward." I don't understand.
I don't answer the governor. He's an asshole.
Right, you just don't answer.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, like he asked Boschko these questions, and Boschko just stares at him like he's stupid.
Okay, I love it. All right. Hello, I'm talking to you. Hello, and like just getting no response, and we just cut down to the captain.
Like I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and
Yeah.
occasionally just making sure that the governor is not going down there
I
to inquire for himself. But like
Yeah.
I'm not giving him any answers. I'm busy.
I love it. I love that you treat him like he's invisible. I love it.
Yep, he's
All
not
right.
worth my time.
All right, LZT.
Do I get any response? Do my questions go to voice
What was your question?
for Dagon? What the fuck, dude?
Sure. Let's say this burns a channel divinity. Okay, to do
Yeah.
this.
I can do that.
All right, it burns your channel divinity to do this, and you're asking like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Let's be more specific about when you say what the fuck, because like Dagon would know what you mean when you say what the fuck, but I don't think I do, and I don't want to reveal too much information. So can you explicitly tell me the question you want to know the answer to?
What is controlling the weather, and what can we do about it? Like, what's going on? What is going on here?
Oh yeah, they say there is a they just say it's a druid, an outcast.
Hold on.
Tree hugger, really?
No, they say an outcast from the owner, or not owners, rulers of the Isle of Dread. That's what they say.
Fucking tree hugger, really?
Dagon scolds you and says you should show respect to your elders. These people once controlled a lot, and they may control it again.
Yes, but they are the land in your ocean.
Yeah.
I wanna give the impression of like, yes, they might be powerful on land, but they cannot leave that land without going into your.
Yeah. I think he's like
I guess this
their
planet
guess-
also has 75-ish%.
But they're saying like it's like they're guests of my ally, or like they're friends of my friends, and so you need to show them some respect. right?
Okay, that's all I needed to hear, really.
But yes, they are. So like Dagon and Demogorgon have an interesting relationship. Dagon will occasionally give advice to Demogorgon, but Demogorgon's really two creatures. And so whenever it gives advice, it won't give advice to both the heads of Demogorgon. It only gives it to one. So they kind of like keep feuding with each other. And Dagon's kind of a way to keep Demogorgon in check.
I just imagine the fucking ogre magi from Warcraft 2 going, "We're ready. I'm not ready."
Ready. Yeah, no, that is the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon is constantly fighting with itself.
Nice.
And you know this.
And Dagon just helps that along a little bit.
Yeah. And he's like, look, Dagon doesn't say look, kid. But it says he does because he doesn't call you kid. He just goes,
observe, youngling.
You are my look. Listen, oh favored instrument of my will. More will be revealed to come. Right? That's what he says.
Okay,
I
good
need
with that.
you. Like you will be a very valuable tool in the I don't know what he says, upcoming sea change or whatever the word is, the changing of the tides. Right? Just
Cool.
So basically he just says, look, just don't be an idiot. I need you in a little bit, okay? So just like keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
You're doing
You're
fine.
representing
You're doing great.
me now.
Yeah,
don't cock it up.
You're a favorite tool. Yeah, he's not
Just save that pitching arm for a bit.
Yeah.
You'll be up soon.
To be clear, he's not giving you, or I say he, but I mean it's Dagon, it's it, right? Like Dagon tells you.
Dagon is actually.
Dagon transcends
entity.
gender. I don't know, it transcends gender and entity entirely. It's like one of the oldest things ever. It just is the universe, is a form of reality. Dagon.
Oh no, Dagon is male.
Okay.
Oh, Mother Hydra is the mate.
Got it.
Traditionally.
Dagon says that you are just, you're an instrument of my will to come. You're going to play a vital role in it. So he's not telling you to, it's not telling you to treat with what's doing this. It's just you ask what is this rabble rousing thing? He's like, hey, hold on, that thing's powerful. That thing needs a little bit more respect than you're giving it right now. But look, I don't really care what you do right now. The point is, I just don't die. I need you around right now. Okay.
If you kill it with respect.
No, it doesn't even say that. It just says I just need you around in the time to come. So don't die. Don't be stupid.
I can deal with it.
Okay. That's all Dagon cares. And he says, they say I will reveal in time what you need. Okay. But that's probably not very helpful, but also it gives you a little bit of an idea, and everyone else doesn't know what's going on. And they just saw you get a little bit scared and being like, I need to go talk to the man downstairs. Right? I need to go talk to my boss. I need to call the manager. Hold on.
I think
nobody likes to hear that from a leader. Being like, oh.
The cartoon version of Savage Tide.
Yeah.
I think Presco just goes, grabs the stomach, goes, I'll be right back, and runs down.
Exactly.
Everyone imagines there's a toilet downstairs, and he's just like, oh, yeah, I gotta make this quick, otherwise I think I'm,
Yeah, everyone else is like, well, it's just a storm. What's the big deal? I think, oh man, Pennell, Dave, I think the big thing that's weird to you is that none of the tents have a little fire going. I think that might be the part of your insight check too that's weird, is that none of them are keeping warm.
Yeah, I'm definitely landing and eavesdropping, Eric.
Sure. You hear nothing. They just sit in the tent quietly.
Okay, I know.
They're just sitting there like this, it's a flap, right? Or no, one of them has a flap, the other one's wide open. You can kind of peek in and stuff, and you just see them sitting in the dark.
Okay. Any weird smells?
No, I mean they're just they just eat stuff around. It's not like they're not eating or drinking. They're taking care of themselves. It's just they just sit in the dark.
What are they collecting from the ship?
Anything. I mean, any useful stuff for benches and tools and sitting around. It's just survival stuff, right? It looks like they're taking care of all their basic needs are met aside from fire.
All right, I'm gonna pick up a rock and throw it at a tree.
Sure.
Do they react at all?
Yeah. Everyone in the tent at the same time goes and looks at what that was.
Like they get out of the tent and look?
No, they all just like turn their head and be like, yeah, and
Oh,
without
oh.
saying
Eerily in
without
tandem.
eerily in tandem, and they look at each other again without exchanging any words, and one of the Fanatins gets
Mhm.
up and leaves the tent. And
I say, "Hi, Unity." No?
So who's on the deck? Who's on the deck of the Black Storm right now? Anyone on the deck of the Black Storm?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Me,
Boschko,
yeah.
the governor, and everybody. Yeah.
Most of
Does my invisibility break if I use a cantrip? It's not a
If
spell,
it's
is it?
if it's an attack spell at somebody, yes.
It's message.
No, you can cast message just
No?
fine. No, you can cast it just
Okay,
fine.
so
You will have to say the words of the spell though, and like people will hear you saying the words. They just don't know where you are, right? You just hear the
Yeah, but
sounds
also
from like
he's
a
a
bush,
bird. He
right?
could just go up to 500 feet. They won't hear.
Yeah, and then you can kind of whisper it into the sky. Yeah, you could assume that nobody would hear
Sure,
you up there. That seems reasonable.
okay.
That's a very
that
reasonable thing to
look,
assume.
Eric, when
What
you're
else?
like,
Yeah, it's a very
that seems reasonable.
It's a very reasonable thing to assume.
Can I? Okay, so do I have to say the words loud? Like, can I whisper the
No,
spell?
you can whisper them. Yeah.
Because I have to whisper anyway
verbal-
when I'm using message. So
But the idea is that verbal spells have to be said. Like they can't just be mouthed. They have to be vocalized. But a whisper is fine, but it means that there's someone else could possibly hear you. But you flew up into the sky, right? Or at least that's what LZT suggested you do. And there's no way anyone could hear you up in the sky. As far as you know.
I'm not reassured.
I'm not either. So Eric,
Yeah.
if they all look at me and one guy walks out to see what it is.
Yeah.
Is there anything odd about his person? Like, is he injured in a way?
No.
Is it like black pulsing?
Nope.
Something or other?
Nope. Like his eyes are black or anything like that. Nope. Totally normal.
Okay.
It just shrugs and goes back in the tent. Sits down.
Okay. So I can, as a macaw, can I like imitate a couple of people?
I mean, you can try with like a deception check. I think you have yeah, you can't just get away with it, but you could try doing it like with a deception check, right? Kind of like being a charlatan. Yeah.
Would you accept performance?
No, because the question is how convincingly do you pull this off, not whether or not you can do it. Perception would be like, or performance would be like, can you even do this? But no, there's no question you can act and do it. It's just whether they believe you, and that requires the deception.
Okay. I will do that. I will pretend to be like 2 or 3 people walking around in the jungle just outside the camp. Just to see what they do. Like if they're coming out with swords or whatever, then.
So you're going to disguise and look like they look like you?
No, I'm just going to sound like I'm out there.
Sure.
Still invisible, just have a conversation with yourself in 2 different voices.
Not invisible, right? Or invisible, just with the voices.
No, invisible. I'm just going to throw my voice and stuff like that.
Same.
The idea being that I want it to sound like there's like 3 people out here having a conversation.
Sure.
I was like, and the conversation will go something along the lines of like, see, I told you the ship was over here. I knew we should have came over here. It's a good place to do some looting. You know, things like that.
Yeah. A Thanatin quickly comes out from the closest tent, a different one. And it doesn't know where you are, but like it's clearly like looking around into the forest edges, like where the beach is, and it immediately is like looking around, and it looks scared, looks confused.
And then throwing my voice to make it sound like I'm not near him, I'll say like, "Hey, is that someone on the beach there? Is that tents?"
Yeah, make a deception check for me now.
Cool. Watch me fail. Yeah, 5. That's good.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll roll this in the open. Check is.
That's
Yeah.
no
Okay.
no problems there.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
It knows you're lying.
With a +8, it couldn't have failed.
Basically. I mean, roll 1 maybe. I mean, I don't count
Even
ones as
still,
fails. Yeah,
no.
that's true. You're right.
I mean,
it really couldn't have failed. I need to roll. I just want to see how successful it was. So it definitely knows you. And I think
You really just wanted to show off.
at that point it should probably kind of have a good idea of where you are. So I'm gonna give it. It has disadvantage trying to find you because you're invisible, but I think its insight roll gives you a better guess of where you are. So I think it's just gonna have regular dice to get an idea of where you are.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That sounds pretty reasonable.
Well, I mean, it doesn't know where you are. But I roll a
oh,
1.
thank goodness.
So
Oh,
it
thank
doesn't
goodness.
actually know where you are. But so it still calls out, and it calls out in a sluggish voice, like it sounds kind of drunk, and it says, like the Fanaton, and it calls out in Ulman.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't speak Ulman.
Yeah.
It says, "Who are you?" But you've heard this phrase before. It's who are you? Or
Okay.
or give me your presence. You know, give me what? Yeah. It sounds old. It sounds like old,
So-
even older Ulman. Like when the ancients were talking to you all and telling you the story, it sounds like their voice, like their sort of dialect.
So I'm gonna circle around him like in the air, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk to him, Eric.
Okay,
that makes
and trying to
sense.
give him a break. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like, so basically, I'm just like, who am I? Who are you? It makes no sense that you're 4 or 5 people.
I can't see you.
Only
Well-
those of true heart can see me. Answer my riddles.
I don't know.
Who are you if you are 5 people
I
or
don't-
more?
The Fanaton. No, the Fanaton answer is I'm busy bee.
Well, Busy Bee, I'm happy to meet your acquaintance. You can call me Mr. Apple.
Mr. Apple, why can't I see you?
As I said, only those of true heart can find my true appearance.
So it's understanding you, but it's not. It's again. It repeats itself in Ulman now, and it's like, why can't I see you? And it's speaking now in a language you don't understand again.
Then I will speak in a language it doesn't understand, Eric Vulgaris.
Yeah.
I think I think
it does understand you.
okay. So even if I speak Auran?
No.
Language of the air elemental.
It sounds like as you're talking and you're speaking. Oh, you're talking in Auran. If it doesn't, definitely doesn't understand Auran. But what it sounds like is you talk to them and there's like a delay, and then like just for a minute, and or not even a full minute. I meant like a metaphorical minute, and then they speak again, like it's being translated.
Are you friend or foe?
I'm neither. I don't know who this friend or foe is.
What is your relation to the shipwreck? What is it? The Pixie Forest?
The Blue Nixie.
The Blue Nixie. What is your relation to
Similar.
the Blue Nixie?
My home.
Before or after it beached itself on the land?
I'll answer no more questions until I know more about Mr. Apple.
I am a great air elemental seeking the reason for the landing of the ship.
Make a deception roll, because it knows you're not an air elemental.
Well, I mean, it can't see me and I can speak air elemental.
Yeah, I know, but it.
Here we go. Watch me fail. Yeah, boy. That's a 9.
Okay.
That's a good solid 9. That's
You're-
exactly what I needed to pass this check, right?
You're no
Yeah,
elemental.
I don't think so.
I mean, it literally can't fail with a +8. No. It knows you're.
Roll a 1.
No. Got the same roll as last time.
I was
knows-
rolling so good today.
It knows you're no elemental, but it does. But I do not. But it hesitates to say this. It doesn't actually say this, but you can see it wanted to. like it's almost like it's trying to scan you, Dave. Like it's trying, and it again, like your other ring is protecting you. Like like I feel like you feel it. I feel like there's some sort of feeling of like there's a scan going off and you're like stealthed. And it's so like you feel it hit you and it doesn't recognize it. Like there's a bursts. And I think at this point, flying around, you're almost like a radar station because now you can pinpoint where it's coming from, and it's coming from the ship. That's the feeling of like the strongest feeling is when you're closest to the ship, and so like there's some sort of ping coming from the ship going towards you, and it can't find you, but it knows, but you can feel it. So it's like you're like reading this sort of like this energy, and it's not a spell. It feels it doesn't feel anything like it feels kind of like what Presco does sometimes. It feels more just like sheer power and force of will.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm gonna fly up a little higher and I'm gonna send a message over. Who's on the deck now? I guess Kelsa, Bashko.
Yeah, Boschko's
Point at-
definitely on the deck for sure.
Yeah, I point at Bashko and I'm just like, hello, it is I, Mr. Apple, great air elemental of the seven seas. You can clearly tell it's Pennell.
Boschko's still confused.
There is a couple of mind-controlled people down here. They keep trying to get into my brain, and I don't like it. And the ship has some sort of brain control device in there too. I think I'm not affected because of some of the rings I'm holding. But I would stay away, at least for the time being, until we can work out what it is.
The human's going to come out of the tent while you're doing that and says, "You're from the ship, aren't you?"
No.
Yeah, you're from the ship.
So I'll fly back down. I'm just like, it's rude to eavesdrop.
That's fine. Do you want to serve me?
Serve you? What, like
Yeah,
grapes?
that's the only reason why you're here, right?
No, I don't deliver sermons to anyone.
No, serve me. And serve my will.
I'm not a lawyer. I can't write any wills for anyone.
You don't need to write. It actually laughs, and like all of the like both the Fanatin and the human outside laugh. They chuckle. They're like writing. Let down your guard. Let me talk to you in the language I'm most fluent in. Mind to mind.
Body to body?
Yes, it says. No insight needed, lying.
Yeah, obviously. It's like, I'll tell you what, if I can write your story and you tell me the full truth in the spoken word, I might consider it.
As long as the spoken word's mind to mind.
That's not spoken. I will write your story and it will last forever.
What if I don't have a mouth?
But you're talking to me now.
Well, these are my mouths.
Yes, and I have plenty of ears.
It speaks in a language you've definitely never heard, and you didn't even know a human mouth could make those sounds. And you don't have any idea what it says.
Can I make
Yeah, something like that.
I would like to make a persuasion check to see if I can convince him to tell me his story, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, I want to write this story.
Make one, and then we're gonna go to break.
Cool. Come on, baby. Daddy needs a new pair of pants.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So
nice.
Then, yes. And it's a
best situated 20 ever. I don't care what the story is. I need the story.
Yeah. I will
Eric,
tell you. I will tell you the
cover
story.
My inspiration.
Yes, it does. All right. It absolutely friggin' does. And it says, my name is Scephilippica. I'll tell you the story and how I was wronged. And we're going to
Nice.
break.
Oh
All right.
my
So
God.
5 minutes, everybody. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Woo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're at the second part here. Yeah, so you all are dealing with something that you're never heard of, not really sure. But yeah, they called its name as Scephalipica. That's what this thing calls itself, and it wants to
And
tell
it's
you
agreed to an interview.
yeah, and it tells you it wants to tell you this story, but it doesn't want to. But it says, in fairness, this tongue is sloppy, hard for me to speak. But yeah, that says lower your guard. And let me tell you about how of my exile. And it tells you, and it begins to tell you these things, and it begins to speak and while it sounds like it's totally a normal sentence, and you're just hearing a bunch of words. Like, imagine if you never played Dungeons and Dragons before, and someone just starts talking about hit points and rolling a 20, and just using all of that jargon.
It's like when
And
I listen to people talk about Warhammer. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I got it.
Right.
Or sports.
Yeah, or sports ball, right? And so they're describing how they were like the head of something, or like not even sure if it's the head, because it doesn't really sound like that's anatomically correct. They have different terms for things, but you definitely hear that they're from an entity called Gallus Morga, or a town, like that's a location or a thing, and they're using the best word they can come up with is spawn. They describe how they got, and they just get really into like the politics of this place, which makes no sense to you whatsoever, because it sounds like the town's alive and has its own thing, or like, but then they also reference people who live in the town, so you're not exactly sure what it's talking about, and it's just really, 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 really confusing, and it's actually like not a good story at all. It just makes no sense to you.
It doesn't matter, Eric, because I write it in such a way that it is a good story.
I mean, yeah, but if it is a good story, it has no semblance to the actual truth whatsoever.
It's kind of like, I like to think of it as like, Interview with a Vampire. Not a good story. It just kind of meanders, but it's like that. I just kind of, I tell it, but it also, I kind of make like the song "The Devil Goes Down to Georgia."
Yeah.
So
Like a
I
ballad.
imagine it's kind of like a ballad that comes out of this, that tells the story of how Penelapple, the invisible Eric Cochran, talks to a god from the underworld. Like something like that, right? But on top of it, it basically, like, I take it down word for word, like everything he says.
Yeah.
And then I keep this in the book or whatever that I've got.
And due to sort of like, so yeah, so again, like the big thing that you're able to take away from this is that this thing had a falling out with the rest of the entities of its friends, and it sought to go further out from Gallus Morga, and from Gallus Morga it came out here and decided that it wants to. You know what? I'm gonna leave. It keeps referring to the best thing you can think of, and what Gallus Morga translates to is, they call it the lightless depths. They leave the lightless depths, and they came up here to conquer again. And then in the last kind of things it says is like, well, there you go, monkey. Now please let down your guard and join me.
I will make sure that your story is told for eons, my friend.
Yes.
And
You
then
don't- yeah, it laughs. It laughs when you say eons, like it knows, like something from the surface just talking about eons. That's cute. And actually, like all the tents and the entities in the tents laugh too. Like it's
I think
really
it's doubly fun
Yeah.
because Pinnell keeps reminding us how he's only 5 years old.
yeah. That's it. Has
eons is like 10 years for me. So
yeah, right. To this thing.
I also like the idea that my ballad ends with, and then the Master Pinnell killed the great monster with a joke.
Until so it says, well, Apple, tell your other monkeys on the ship to not really show up unless they're coming here to serve me.
Did you change the weather by chance?
Yeah, it looks at you as like, yes, of course we changed the weather.
Okay.
I have, yeah, it's like
Uh,
I control everything here. I can look at this, and he begins to brag, or it begins to brag, being like, look, I control everything here is under my control. The people here are under my control. Bloodtooth, the ship, the thing that's following your ship right now is under my control. Everything's here is under my control. This is like I don't know why we haven't left the lightless depths faster. Like everything out here is so easy to conquer. Like they're just begging for their rulers again. I don't know where you came from, but you should totally work for me. It's better than being food. You're funny. You have good jokes. You laugh about like you have a concept of time. I won't
been
kill
on
you
this planet
immediately.
for a very long time, my friend. I am ancient in my people.
That's a mood.
And so then I will fly back to the ship, and I'll be like, uninvisible. And it's like, oh, guys, I just had the best conversation. It's real good. I think you muted Kelso, by the way.
Oh, hey, I am. Yeah, like you come back and Bajko is just like kind of confused, like, you sent me a message, but I didn't understand.
That's okay.
What did you find?
So first things first, I suggest that we move the ship out of the bay. There is an entity known as Bloodtooth underneath us, and he's definitely not hiding from something. He is doing something.
I suspect that Presco has finished his communion by this point.
Yeah.
He would like to come back up to greet Pinel at this juncture.
I think I come out of the from below just as Pinel says we should leave, and I I step out and go, I concur. We should.
Temporarily, for the time being, I need to have a private conversation with all of you.
Bajko looks surprised that they're agreeing about this, but is like, all right.
Do you mean not in the presence of the governor? Because the governor is like, we're not backing off. We're getting the stuff from the Blue Nixie. This thing be damned. Whatever it is.
Okay. Fatty, I'm gonna need you to zip it and zip it good for the time being. I'm not gonna mince my words with you anymore, because on that beach is an entity far greater and far older than anything you can possibly comprehend with your small, feeble little human mind.
He just laughs and says, like, yeah, bullshit. I've lived here for 20 years. There's none of that shit here. All that stuff is hocus pocus. Let's go.
Cool. Get on a ship and go over there then, and
This
you
is
will
the ship.
become
Presco, let's go. I'm tired of talking to you, Mr. Apple. Now, have a good day. Captain Presco, let's go.
I'm looking at Presco.
Yeah, everyone looks at Presco.
Like
I so badly want to say throw him overboard.
I'm like
Good.
2 seconds away from just conking him on top of the head.
Well, we have to get rid of the 4 other accomplices, too.
Yeah, but there are a lot of more of us.
Sure.
Just say there was a bad storm, and oh, did they fall overboard? You could say that. Fall.
So there is
the Maravanchis are nobles in Sassurin. If they get word that their governor is killed, they're gonna definitely spend money on scrying and seeing what happened. I'm not sure it's as easy as you think it is.
So
you all know that as nobles, you can't disposing of a noble is not actually easy. They'll just revive them anyways. They have the money.
I'm gonna go back. Okay, I'm gonna repeat to the man. It's like, I highly suggest you don't do that, because honestly, if you don't come with us, you will probably never be seen again, except as the puppet of something from the deep.
Well, we already have one of those, pointing to the captain. What's so bad? That doesn't seem too bad of a fate. If it means the safety of Farshore, I would gladly do it. what he says. And you see it took a little bit of a lot of courage for him to say that. So I don't know why. I know, actually, he does know why. He knows why you all don't feel the same conviction. You're not from here.
Actually,
You've never had to live and build something from scratch and make sure it survived. This place is my child, and I'm going to make sure my child lives.
Actually, Captain, do you have do we have a rowboat that I can use? Because I want to go over
Yeah,
with him.
You have a smaller boat. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, you know what? That's actually a fantastic idea. I feel
Yeah.
like you would be much better at communicating with this creature than I would be. But I will go over there to make sure that you are okay.
My life is not going to be in your hands, Bird. We all go or no one goes.
No one goes. You heard them. Start turning around.
He's
Well,
hey, I got an idea. We'll push him overboard.
He's braggadocious, but not dumb.
So
if you're
just splat on the surface.
It's, you know, he's not dumb. Like you telling him that there's some sort of mind controlling thing there, and he's not gonna go out alone. That's like he's there with you all, and like you're all supposed to go protect him and do this. This is like the deal. That's why he's not gonna just foolishly get on a boat and go out there. Like you don't get to be a governor of an island by doing stupid shit like that. Like he's smarter than that. He's just not doing that.
All right. Like, the problem is that
why didn't it take you over?
Creature because
how do we know that you're not dominated right now? Like possessed by the creature.
Well, that's a fantastic.
This could be a trap. He looks to the captain. How do you not know that Presco right now? You just Boschko. You said the message he said makes no sense. It was clearly learning our defenses. It's learning about Farshur right now. This thing is in league with the Crimson Fleet. We have to kill it before it gives off any more information. Like he's like freaking out now, thinking that this thing is part of the Crimson Fleet.
Just because I didn't understand it doesn't mean it wasn't right. He told us to leave and not approach.
There are ways to defend yourself. There's shields for your there's abjurations to protect your mind. Let's just cast some of those. Presco, you know how to do that.
Presco again, yeah.
Right? You know how to shield people's minds.
That's not exactly what I do.
Oh shit. Seems that we're in a duel unarmed.
If you'd like to be diplomatic with the creature, he's more than willing to talk.
Good. Well, since you seem... Let's just assume he's convinced that you're not possessed. Because that's more interesting. Since you're somehow immune, you have to be the one who does it. And how would we not know... I guess we'll know how bad it goes because as soon as things go south, I'm sure this dinosaur near us is going to attack.
Well, that's why I suggest that we have someone who knows about the fate of this place come with us. If that's not going to be you, there's only so much I can do. Honestly, I think it's because I'm an Aarakocra that he can't do anything. But who knows?
You're lying to him. Make a deception check.
I want to use my inspiration
because he knows that Aarakocra, like it's possible that I think it's possible your brain is that small and that it doesn't register, but it's also possible that it's that magical ring. Okay, I got a 7, so you'll probably be able to do it. Okay, maybe it is. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. Your brain is that small that it wouldn't work. It's too young and small. It's too malleable and impressionable that it can't be solidified and controlled.
It's still growing. It only takes mature brains.
So he just insults you, but thinks he's arrogantly thinks that it's because you have a small brain. So what do we ignore this?
Dick.
What do I go back empty-handed? Tell the group that we were just afraid of something that won't show its face, and that can control people, and that is it, and that there are actual other colonists trapped there that I am powerless to help, and just wring my hands of it. Is that what we're doing? I'm sure that would bring a lot of confidence to the colony.
As I said, we can go down. That's no problem.
Again, he looks at the captain and stuff. Is that what we're doing? Again, it's not that I'm not me as a game master. I'm impartial to what you choose here. I'm just playing the captain telling, or the governor telling. This is what the governor wants, right? Okay, just to be clear, like the governor absolutely wants you all to go do this. Like Winston Churchill will fight him on the beaches. We'll do whatever. Like this is for his child, his colony, right? Like do this.
How many people can fit in the boat?
Like maybe
6.
Yeah, maybe 10 at the most.
Okay. Well, if I go,
but
the governor,
if you go in the rowboat, like what's going to stop the dinosaur from eating the rowboat?
Me.
So keep that in mind too.
Okay, well, I could just run on the water.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't stop the dinosaur from eating you either.
That would not stop the dinosaur from eating you, but it would stop everyone else. Yeah.
From eating you, yeah.
So this is a problem. You can still try to diplomatically treat with this thing, but the minute a bunch of people are going to show up alarmed, you're like, that's off the table, right? Furthermore, I'll give you this as well. Pennell, you don't know what the range is exactly, but there is sort of like a range around orbiting the wreck of that ship. That clearly where this creature is. That like as soon as you get into that range, it's able to read your mind and stuff and do that sort of scanning stuff, right? Like like there's sort of like a bubble around it that it controls. Because again, like you know this because of your ring protecting you, right? And there's a moment where like the signal to noise of that gets to the part where it no longer triggers your ring. Is how
I could,
you know what I mean? You don't know you don't know it. You don't know in feet or meters or whatever. Like you don't know it, but you know that you like assume that there is a field there and that you kind of know that like it can control you from a certain range, but there's a safety distance somewhere that's also okay.
All right. So I'm going to say to everyone, basically what I would like for us to do is to take the boat out to ocean right now. Just so that we can converse. You think we can do that?
Yes.
Sure.
We start doing it.
So you raise. I mean, you didn't really drop an anchor, anyways, but the dinosaur follows you, right? But you all go out.
Okay, so it's still underneath us?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Until it's
okay.
It's I will give the impression though that if you all are like the further you do get out though, it is going to stop like following you so closely, right? But it's definitely like patrolling around. It's just kind of like doing a large loop around your ship now, right? It's not one for one under your ship.
Okay,
it's kind of letting itself known to be like, I'm still watching you, right? If you try to sneak back on, like, and try to come in and attack me, right? Like this thing's clearly very intelligent, right? It's not gonna like not. It's. I would say it's as wise as Presco, right? So it's not gonna do anything that's dumb.
My intent here was mostly just to get further enough away that we can have a conversation without it hearing us.
Yeah,
that was my intent. But if it's gonna follow us to the ends of the earth, then I can just write. Just write down what I want to say.
Okay. You don't really know how good magic works, do you? I think Presco would. Presco,
yeah, probably.
You're familiar. I mean, as a spellcaster, you know that there are certain ways things control things, and that if you control something, I think the best example that you probably can think of would be like a vampire thrall or something like that, maybe and like dominating somebody. And that or like a servant of a mind flayer. It's like they can only hear and see what the creature they dominated knows. So it's not like while like the dinosaur could probably vaguely hear what you all are talking about, but if you talk in whispered tones, it's not going to really hear you, right? It's just going to know you all are talking, but doesn't really know what it says. But then it has to kind of like pass that whatever it's trying to hear off to the other creature and like communicate it back to like
Alright.
the one colonist that knows English or knows Common and can like translate it and back to, you know, it's got to do all that kind of stuff. It's limited by its network of people.
So in that case, I'm still going to write it because I don't want this creature to know.
Mhm.
I basically say that in text,
Yeah, if you
and
wrote it
maybe
down.
as we're
Write it down, yeah.
driving out, people can read the story that I wrote, especially Presco, because he's all god stuff and whatnot. He might know something about this creature. I don't know. I gave him the story and I tell him, just read this. It's verbatim what the creature told me. After you've read it, I will then write in the book about where this on the ship itself is that mind control section. And I will tell him I'm unaffected by it. And I would like to potentially do a stealth mission to deactivate it or find out what this object is and take it further away. That way we can deal with whatever's on the ship without brain scanning us all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a couple things that from the story that like you're not sure if you wrote down them correctly or not. But again, I think it's up to you here. Can you make another wisdom check for me?
Me?
No, this is Presco. You're the only one right now, Presco, that I think out of everybody here, you're the only one that truly understands the pun intended depth of what's going on, like in terms of the
15.
actual like scope and what's going. Yeah, you're fine. Just know, yes, it's you're dealing with You're not sure what sort of denizen exactly. Like it could be several. It could be like aboliths. It could be mind flayers. It could be, you know, other creatures of the depth. But you're dealing with like ancient aberrations, right? And in terms of the D&D milieu, and you know that there's several different types of those that are that could fall into this category, right? And it's not like it gives you a good name for these things. But the thing that fills you with the most with dread is that it talks about another entity, and this is this entity that is the best word they have it for it is like the heart of madness, and there's some sort of ziggurat is what you hear, and the ziggurat is what is like the scariest thing of it all, and it's just calls it's called the hunger below, which you're like, well, that sounds like Dagon, and it's not, and it's something else. That's all you know, and that is the thing that makes you have the wisdom save, is that the just the sheer knowledge of knowing that this thing actually exists is terrifying to you, because this is not from the abyss. This is from the far realms. There is something here that should not be cosmically, like not even in of this of the planar perfection that is the cosmos and reality of all the planes intertwined and all the astrographs and all the different, you know, positive plane. This is outside of the scope of the positive and negative energy planes where this thing comes from, and it's here, and it shouldn't be, and
That's not good.
no, and that's extremely dangerous and profane and can like unravel the universe, maybe. Like the worst
do
ones.
I imagine? Do
probably
I
fine.
immediately go?
It's literally
that sounds like it could be connected with the.
Yeah, it's apparently beneath the Isle of Dread. That the lightless depths exist below the Isle of Dread. That this city is home to this thing, and that there are creatures there that worship it and Demogorgon, and those creatures are either those aboliths or mind flayers or something else that exists beneath the oceans and depths. These are all things that like people have never heard of except you, right? Because these things just are so ancient and old that like you understand the context. Like that's why I'm telling you this, because you being the cleric of Dagon, like you have some of this context to you. That these are the things, like, yeah, you know the servants of Dagon are scary and very, 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 very old, right? And you know that there exist things that are demonic and even non-demonic creatures that have once ruled this plane, right? from beneath the oceans. And this is, you're
Okay.
dealing with a creature of that type. You just don't know what kind it is.
That's not good.
Yeah. But all of those creatures have the ability to basically read human entities and take them over, right? It's how they've survived forever, and that's how cities and things are built, that they were all designed and because everyone used to be enslaved by them. In fact, the Yuan Ti were made from one of these.
Oh.
You are genetically designed by one of these. Not necessarily not this one in particular, but the idea is that these ancient entities are partially responsible for why people why there are certain creatures around right now. That you are created as a servient race to this to these powers. Not great. It's not a great knowledge to know.
Which were the original Yuan Ti? Was it the Abomination ones, or because Pure Blood, I am?
Yeah,
Pure
Bloods came out later. It's unknown. I feel like that's stuff the Yuan Ti don't really like to talk about.
Okay.
But you definitely know that there was a rebellion, right? And then Yuan Ti rebelled against these rulers and created their own destiny. Right? You just call them the Elder Evils, right? That's all. I'm sure it's fine.
I mean, I don't really have. I have no strong feelings in one direction or another.
Right. So again, tactically, right now, you guys can choose what you want to do. I'm not pushing you one way or another. I'm just trying to help you know what's at stake. Right. The governor obviously wants you to do this because the governor thinks that this is absolutely important. Yeah. And that this is worth the cost, and you all are great enough to do it. You all are like, fuck that. This thing is super terrifying. This is technically mechanically, technically terrifyingly strong, yes, but doable by you all. But yes, you're dealing with something again, you're dealing with a creature or an entity that you've never encountered before, ever, in even a regular shape, way, or form, and it's giving you all shit. Do we actually even want to do this? I don't know. I'd rather go fight a bunch of pirates as is rather than deal with this thing.
No, I'm totally down to kill it. Let's go.
I am too. I'm just worried about everyone's mind stuff.
Yeah. That's on the table, right? Being controlled.
That's okay. As long as I'm raging, I can't be mind controlled. Don't worry about it.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What about you?
That's helpful.
What have you got?
Beginning at 6th level, you cannot be charmed. Oh, it's charmed or frightened. So maybe I can be mind control is charm magic though, right?
No, I think
or
it's
is it different?
I think it's separate.
Well, I lied. I can still get fucked up. Great. Let's go. Do it anyway. I'm down.
No, not great. The other one, not great.
Well, what do you think about me doing a solid snake mission and see if I can get this crystal thrown into the deep blue? Or whatever it is that's inside of this ship.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea.
As the only one who can both be invisible and is decidedly immune, that's a good idea.
And stealthy.
And stealthy. I don't particularly like you going this entirely alone, but also I don't have a better suggestion than Boschko Smash, and that is probably not
that's not so much a better suggestion as a different suggestion.
So, all right. Well, if we're doing that, I'm going to set up a whisper first with Presco.
Makes sense.
A message, sorry. So you can hear me and you can talk to me as well. So we can have a conversation. It'll be very whispery though. So, and then I will stealth up and I will fly over to the ship, Eric, and see what I can do about this place.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The ship is in bad shape. It's not completely destroyed. It would require several days of mending it to get it working. But in order to infiltrate the ship right now, even invisible, to not make a lot of sounds and notice, it's going to require a stealth check.
Absolutely. I didn't think it would require anything else. But is there advantage to this because I'm invisible or no?
I mean, if you're flying, so you're not touching the ground, and you're invisible.
You can't
should-
you can't fly
No,
inside of a
I think
ship,
you do.
like-
I think you do because I think right now it knows that you can go invisible. Like it's pretty sure that's what you're doing.
Mhm.
It sadly
So no
can't see
advantage?
invisibility. Yeah. So no, I think you have I think you have advantage. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, cool. Great. All right then. I'll take it. 23.
Yeah, it only has dark vision. Okay. Awesome. 23 is great. Yeah, you're able to slip into the ship. No problem. And yeah, there definitely is some sort of like blue crystal, like in like the part of the ship that's in the water. There's a sort of like this blue crystal that's sort of like being forged right now, like it's or grown. It's being grown out of a barnacle that's kind of similar to the things that you saw Presco have. And you can see there's also sort of like different types of chains next to it. Like it's only about the size of something you could wear around your like an amulet or something.
Another barnacle.
Like it's like the barnacle is growing like it's like a barnacle, yeah, and it's literally like growing and it's trying to grow this thing. You can see around it like there's sort of like these runes that obviously no idea what they are. I think actually make a wisdom. Can you make a wisdom saving throw at advantage for me?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
See if your small bird brain helps you out here. Yeah, it does. Okay.
17.
Yep. This is just another language. It's very interesting, but nothing weird about it. Just interesting. That sort of surround this barnacle. It's the stuff that you kind of seen LZT or seen Presco use. And yeah, and then you look in the water, and you do sort of see the creature there, and it's sort of like from the water you can see it's sort of its eyeballs. And that's sort of the head of a fish. And you can see, and it kind of has a little bit of a torso of a person, but there's definitely sort of like tentacles and stuff in the water too. You've never seen whatever this is before, so telling you what it is monstrously, it's not going to help you. And it's just sitting there, and it's just it seems to be quietly staring at the crystal, waiting for it to grow, like if you were waiting for a pot to boil. It just sits there, just looking at the water, just kind of
Right.
treading.
You said it's like the size of like an amulet or something right now?
Yeah, the crystal is, yeah. The creature in the water
Okay, and-
is like the size of
Much bigger. No, I get
bigger.
it. Yeah.
About
And
size of you.
What is the likelihood that I can take the crystal without problem?
0.
You said it's connected to something, right?
Yeah, it's like there's clearly the focus of some sort of ongoing ritual that this creature is doing.
Okay.
That makes
So
sense?
do I have to cut anything or whatever to cut it free?
Yeah, it's literally growing out of a barnacle that's like in the ground. So it looks like kind of like a clamshell kind of thing that's coming out of the ground, and like it's kind of broken open. Like the shell's kind of broken open, and from that shell there's this bluish sort of crystal growing.
All right. What's the likelihood? Do I feel like as a rogue?
Yeah.
Do I feel like I can cut through this thing?
Fuck yeah, you do.
We're doing it, boys. Doing it old school. And here's my following actions, Eric Valgaris. The moment I cut it and grab it, I'm gonna re-invisibility up and GTFO.
Okay.
That's my plan. Because anything I'm holding turns invisible as well. So that's the plan, at least. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. So what would you like me to roll here?
I think you need to do a sleight of hand check to see if you can get away with cutting this thing. At advantage, of course.
I like that. That's a nice roll. Okay, here we go.
17.
17.
Okay. Couple things happen as you go through it. For starters, soon as your hand goes through into the ritual thing, it becomes visible. But you're able to begin to break the crystal, right? It's actually much softer than you thought it was, and way more delicate. So it begins to crack, and so you have this moment now of it knows you're here, it knows you're interfering with the ritual, but if you want right now, you could back up, go invisible, and try to GTFO, or go through and possibly be seen at least for one moment, and be visible and have the crystal. What do you do?
All right. Well, I can answer that with my bond, Eric Vulgaris. My bond is I idolize a hero of old tales and measure my deeds against that person's. I'm cracking that egg, boy.
Okay, you're doing it. That makes perfect sense to me. Let's see if it has anything. Yes. Okay. You crack the egg, and then there's a pulse that goes off on you, and it's
Yeah.
going to try to cast Dispel Magic on you. And it's trying to specifically hit your ring. It's trying because it can't see your brain, and it says, "Bird," and like in its own telepathic speech, right? And it's going to cast Dispel Magic on your specifically trying to hit your ring. So what I need you to do is I need you to make a Wisdom save, DC 16.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Do I get advantage for the ring?
No.
No.
No, the ring can't protect itself.
Interesting. Does this count for my evasion skill?
Or I guess no, I'm sorry. It doesn't actually hit your ring. It can't do that. It can only target you. But as soon as it after doing that though, it will detect magic and then go after your ring. Because it knows your ring is doing it now.
Okay.
All right. So just do, but I still need your Wisdom saving throw.
Roger Dodger. Oh, yeah.
That's a
what I
natural
expected.
1, buddy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I expected. I've been doing well up until this point.
All right, that's not good at all. I was choosing the.
I guess.
I was choosing the effect that's protecting you, specifically the mind shielding. So it can't really. So I misspoke how Dispel Magic works. You have to choose a creature, object, or magical effect. The magical effect it's targeting is the mind shielding, being like you can't do that shit. And now that it can see you, it can cast the spell at you and target that effect. Because beforehand, you're invisible. You're literally completely stealthed to it, and it couldn't even begin to attack. But now it has a vector to attack you by doing that. And since you're breaking it, that's what it's doing. You broke the crystal, and you're getting ready to go. And as you break it off, you feel naked as this thing begins to probe your mind. And I need you to make one more save for me here as it dominates you. You begin to think.
Don't roll a 1.
There's a gentle sense of fear and absolute terror of you standing naked in front of this creature, and then you're like, I can't be that bad. And you're trying to fight it, and you're trying to fight that. You're trying to fight. You're trying to fight falling asleep, Dave. Like that. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're just gently going to sleep, and it feels so good, and you're so tired.
Okay.
So same wisdom.
I also like the idea that, like, the message you receive, Pashko, at this point, is simply what?
I'm not gonna mention that you can't send me a message because you can't see me currently, because that's too funny.
No, message can go around objects and through things as long as when you set the spell.
Okay.
When you set the spell, as long as you had vision of the person. So
yeah. All right, it's a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Right. Oh, come on, boy.
Oh no!
Holy shit. All right.
So yeah, Pinnell Apple, Warrior of the Deep, reporting in, Eric Vulgaris. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You hear in your head, thank you for your service. And let's see. I will bring you over to this screen just to give you all a picture of what we're doing. This is what it looks like. Isn't Shift Control Z? Shift Z? Ivzy.
What in the
where
actual
are they?
fuck
Yeah.
is that?
This is what you're fighting. So it doesn't actually have a mouth. It just has a bunch of tentacles.
God, it's Zoidberg.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird
Zoid.
It is like a weird Zoidberg thing. So it's got like, kind of like the upper body of a thing, but it's got a bunch of tentacles on it, and then its tail is like 3 sort of tentacles, and it just pulses you, and you just see its eyes go like the sparkly magical crab eyes, like the Ka, the snake from the Jungle Book eyes, as it just controls you. Like, good, serve me, oh funny one. And and everyone, and you hear a bunch of other voices in your head too now. They're all the other dominated creatures going like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, welcome. It's pretty good. It's pretty nice here. Welcome aboard." Yeah, it's so nice. So what's going to happen now is that you are completely dominated for an hour. You remain controlled for an hour.
Normally I have to pay for that.
Here, I'll share. This is a public roll. So this is the effects of it. So you failed your 15 saving throw. I have access to all your thoughts and memories. And I think really is the first thing it says is, that's it.
Yeah.
You're only alive for 5 years. It's like, really?
How deep can we go?
Yeah.
And like, it
let's go back.
probably only gets like 2.5 years of memory.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, really?
And it's like, as I said, I've lived for eons. Do you like my memory?
Yeah, that's what it says, eons. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed. Imagine just it's like a big old giant tome, right? That's a complete collection. Like, imagine all the Harry Potter books together or something, right? And then like, it's like really only like 1 page long, and the rest of it's blank, and you're like, what? And that's
no. You open up
that's
this
the feeling.
enormous tome. It's got a hole cut in it, and inside of it is a single sausage. You know, like.
I expected much more from this, and it's like, really.
Yeah, and the only memories it has of me is like me raiding the pantry in the middle of the night at the
Right.
Bardic College.
Well, the first thing
me reading books for years.
The first thing it's going to do is say, "Give me that ring," which you hand over totally willingly.
I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah. So you don't have your ring of mind shielding anymore. And then it's going to say, good. Now go back and go tell your friends that you made peace, and that what is, and it's reading your thoughts and stuff like that, right? But like, let's role play it out for a second. It's like, what does your group want? What do you want right now?
Well, you see, there's
What are you trying to do?
there's this guy that killed one of my friends or something like that. I think that was the case. Anyway, he's got this big armada coming over, and we're just like, oh man, what are we gonna do about this armada? So we're just going around finding people, undead armies, normal stuff, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna fight some pirates. It's kind of cool. We came over here because there's a shipwreck here and it has some stuff on it or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to the governor. He's kind of fat and smelly, so I don't really like him that much, So also, he seems to think that I'm his friend, but I actually gave him a real tongue lashing before we came over here. I don't think he likes me that much anymore, so it's going to be really hard to convince him to come here. But I'll see what I can do, I guess. I don't know.
Right. It's like, oh, how boring. More squabbling between you all.
And then I keep Eric Vogos. I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
Because I'm like that 5-year-old kid that tells you the story of the day. It's like, yeah, but then, when we came over here, it was like kind of weird. And I saw this giant tentacle thing under the ground, under the ship. And I was like, oh man, that's such a nice looking creature. I'm just going to ignore it because it's not really doing anything, But now that I can actually be a part of the great collective that is the mind that has that creature in it, it's definitely going to be one of those things that I think I'm going to be good friends with that beast, Even though he doesn't say a lot of things, I feel that we're very similar. There's a lot of things that's going on between him and I. And honestly, thinking about it, like if I could be a dinosaur, I'd probably be that dinosaur, all things considered. I haven't met a lot of dinosaurs. Actually, that's not true. I have met one dinosaur. He was a big T-Rex thing, had feathers all over it. Kind of looked like a bird, but not really. Birds are kind of a little cooler than he was, being a bird. I mean, being a bird now, I guess you sort of understand that, and honestly, like I think he's cooler than the T-Rex that we fought, and that's saying a lot because that T-Rex was actually kind of cool. Lots of things like
I
that.
would like to kill Penel right now, whatever
So,
it takes.
so basically, that's what's happening inside of my mind constantly,
Just
and that's what he's
5,000
subject to
RPMs.
now.
Yeah. And yeah, then it tells it. I mean, it can dominate you to shut up.
I think this is why Aarakocrans live for such a short amount of time, because they cram like 85 years of living into like 10 years by just going.
Yep. So I guess I'll fly back to the ship then, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to do that. Yeah. So go back to the ship. And tell it wants you to tell them that Wait, what did you want from the Blue Nixie though, specifically?
I actually don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Like Pennell doesn't know.
Right. You
because
wanted
he wasn't paying attention.
I think it was some of its supplies and stuff, I think was the thing. You wanted some of the supplies from the ship. But well, I think
I mean, if you want, I can actually just bring supplies back.
No, this is
that'll
great.
be that.
So it's saying it learned now that they're yeah. Okay, that you all are going back there. Okay. No, it doesn't want to actually fight you all because it's afraid that it might lose. So it doesn't actually want to do that. So it actually wants to like treat with you and tell you that's fine. So it wants Henley. Here's my task for you. All right, you need to convince the group that it's not worth that they're willing, that the thing's willing to help you on, that you persuaded it to help you in the fight, and that it will give you whatever supplies you want. It just needs you to stick around and help lead the efforts, right? It needs you to lead that you were so successful at persuading it, and it thinks now that you're the hero, that it just needs you to help lead and coordinate the efforts of getting the supplies off, and basically stick around for an hour so it can try to dominate you for the full day, and then dominate you for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll fly back, and I won't even be invisible when I come back.
Yeah. Because you're all confident.
Yeah, and I'll just land, and I was like, guys, I just had the best conversation ever. Yeah, the exact same landing that I had last time.
Comes back acting totally normal, not dominated at all.
So 2 good things here.
Yeah.
Managed to get rid of the crystal. It was, actually not that hard. But as I broke it,
you give them the crystal.
Yeah, hand it over, and it's like, but as I broke it, I actually learned quite a lot more about little friend over there. He's not a bad dude, actually, all things considered. Basically, he's willing to give us the supplies off the ship. We don't have to do any fighting. He's just gonna, live on being what he is, and we're just gonna, peacefully exchange what we need from the ship. Everyone's happy then.
So
seems like a good deal.
Do I notice anything odd about Penel at all?
I mean, there are 2 things that need to happen. One, perception checks to see if you notice the ring's gone. But other than that, I mean, Penel is...
Well, hold up.
Oh my god.
Pretty sure that ring is invisible.
Yeah.
Okay.
224s.
That's hilarious. Okay. I mean, that's the way the game works. This is what I mean, right? Like, so you roll a 1 on your saving throw to get dominated, but then your party rolls 24s to see it is. And yes, this sounds good, and everyone's like, oh, good, we don't have to fight this thing. And then you all realize that he is missing his ring.
Well, actually, Eric, so that ring, I'm pretty sure, is invisible when you put it on. The mind control ring. It's actually you can actually choose to have it be invisible so that people don't know that you have a mind control ring on.
Then it's not.
So that's the only thing
you tell
that
me.
I'd say there.
No, that's fine. Then it's not the ring. Then you tell me what it is about your like your speech and stuff to people that gives it away? What is the
Okay.
tell? What is the tell that makes you realize that like that's not actually Penel? Like what is, and you literally were doing your freaking best too to like hide this, right?
Oh,
And
I know what it is. I know what it is. It's obvious.
What's that?
He says that. He says that thing. Then he shuts up.
You never heard there's quiet on the ship, which has never happened before.
Well, the other thing that's worthwhile pointing out too, Penel's always been obsessed with telling the stories of heroes, right?
Yeah.
And he's always been willing to say fight a monster or a god inside of a mountain if it makes a good story. And the fact that Penel's just coming back being like, "Hey guys, we should just have a peace treaty with this monster instead of writing an epic tale, you know,
Of fighting.
like,
yeah.
I mean,
this
he
is not
literally
adding
went
up.
over there, made a ballad about how he talked to the creature and killed it with a joke. And now he's coming back being all like, "Yeah, we should just be friends. It's fine. Don't worry about it."
Totally smooth.
Yeah. Also, I'm doing like the thing like, "Yeah, I got him." Yeah, like cleaning my fingernails. Like, "Yeah, I got him."
Easy. What do y'all want to do?
Definitely with the 20. Definitely with the 20, you picked that up for sure.
Yeah, exactly. With the 20. So that's the thing is
Oh.
you're picking it up. This is adding up. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Boschko is doing typical Boschko and like looking to Presco and being like, this isn't, like this isn't right.
So yeah, we should. How do you guys feel about getting this done? Because I tell you what, I'm actually pretty hungry, and I'd like to go back and actually get some food. You know, no offense, Presco, your seafood is not for me. I'm a nut guy. Love me some nuts and some fruit too. But oranges are a bit annoying, so I don't want to really eat them anymore. So
what do you do? So you both know that like you realize this is off, but Pinel doesn't know that you know, right?
Can I do an insight to like definitely be sure that there's something fucking wrong, not just a ring?
Yeah.
So like definitely, absolutely, definitely, without any doubt.
I was really looking forward to smashing them.
I mean, no, because
don't worry about it too much.
The only thing you know is what you feel right now, and I don't feel like a skill check could help you confirm whether or not you feel this way or not. All I'm saying is that there is a clear tell, or there are several clear tells that Pinel isn't acting as he normally would.
Yeah.
And that you're like, this is too. There's something. This isn't adding up. And what would you do if he was dominated? Like, what would you? And that's what you're at right now. And he doesn't know that something gave him away.
Like, tie him up. I don't know. I don't know what I would do actually.
There are ways to, if he's dominated, there's ways to stop it, right? There's ways to stop that spell. You know that dispel magic might work. Remove curse probably would work. Magic like that could probably get rid of it if you have anything like that.
I don't have any of those.
If you could charm, I don't think charming him would do it. But if you could dominate him instead, you could dominate a dominated creature, and I think that would also technically get rid of the first domination.
Should I use command? Release, or break free?
No, because you're targeting the wrong thing. You have to target the creature.
Defenestrate.
you would have to target the creature doing the control of Pinel to make him release Pinel.
Ooh, I just had like a lore brilliant thing, but it's not going to work.
But now that creature has that ring, so you only have 24 hours to do this before it's attuned to that ring. And now this thing can't. Then you have a mind controlled creature that can't be mind controlled.
You know what I love most about this? If we kill this creature, it's going to go inside of the ring.
Yeah, if it attunes, it will. Yeah.
And then I can put the ring on and be like, "Hey, friend, good to see you again."
Oh no!
Yeah, it's a really bad thing that this thing has this ring now. It didn't know. It didn't even know that you can make this type of magic, and so now it's like, what?
Ooh, this is new.
Yeah. It's like it's learning counter dominate magic. And it's like, I didn't even know you all learned this shit. I thought you were still swinging sticks at each other. This is cool.
Oh, we do that too.
Yeah, right. So it's you have you have about 24 hours before the thing gets attuned before it's real bad. What do you want to do? You want to think about it? Like, Pinel's dominated. You can try to force the hand of it right now. You could try to put him. I mean, you could make it like arrest him basically and knock him down somehow and keep him restrained. But
Good luck. I'm like a greased up deaf guy. You're not
Yeah.
touching me.
Never gonna catch me. Yeah. So like,
You're gonna get me.
if we're not sure what we want to do, I would also maybe posit that perhaps this is where we should end for the day and think about it, and we can talk about it and get Dempsey on board too for next week.
Do I need to
Yeah.
roll a new character?
It's possible. It depends. Like,
Okay.
your characters know that Pinel is not, like, everyone else knows, so it's probably not. Like, they're probably going to try to save you. I would imagine they try to save you. But,
I
like-
mean, maybe he'll make a character that doesn't talk so much. So maybe
Listen,
I don't know.
listen. I'm gonna tell you something real quick. You guys are gonna struggle to fight me. It is going to be an
I know.
absolute cunt. To
I know,
fight me.
that's why I listen, and I gave you the chance. No one could say I didn't warn you, Henley.
No,
I
yeah,
gave you plenty
absolutely.
of outs and stuff, and gave you the stakes, and that's fine. I love that you did it anyways. That's totally what Pinel would do,
Yeah.
and you just happen to
now
roll
he's
one.
a bird.
And you just happen
Would
to roll
animal
one.
friendship work on him?
No,
Yeah,
he has a soul. It's a sentient person, not an animal. But yes,
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
Good
according
try,
It
though.
is-
according to this creature, everyone he just thinks that you're all are animals. And that's
Yeah.
all you are. But like, yeah.
So 22 AC, and I can fly, and I will never stand
Yeah.
next to fighters.
And you're killing your
It's
friend.
going to be an absolute cunt to come after me.
Yeah.
Let me just say that right now. Absolute, yeah.
Um,
But he does have 46 HP, so good luck. Oh, yeah, and spells don't really work on. Because
I just need to hit you over the head once
didn't
or
you get
twice.
that cape? Didn't you get the cape? Don't you have something
Once
that
or
gives you
twice.
magic resistance now, Henley?
Yeah, but
that
I also
you?
have the. No, I gave my old cape to Kelso.
Oh, that's right. Kelsa has the resistance.
But
cape
I
now.
have evasion, so any spell against me has to hit real fucking good.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So you'll
yeah.
have trouble.
I think ending
Yeah.
it here and getting Dempsey on board is probably a good idea because
Yeah.
I'd like the full party here to deal with our dominated friend and figure out what we're gonna do because I mean Bojko's answer would be to hit him upside the head and then tie him up. But
So, but yeah, as soon as we begin fighting, you're gonna have to deal with Pinel. You're gonna have to deal with the dinosaur. You're gonna have to deal with everyone else on the beach, who may or may not be innocent people, and then as well as this creature. So like y'all gotta figure
Yeah.
this out. This is like
yeah,
this is like
none of that
Superman.
occurs to Bojko,
fighting
which is why
hostages.
somebody
Yeah.
else needs to. That's why somebody else needs to make these types of decisions.
Yeah.
So
I'm not here next week because I'm at TwitchCon.
Yeah,
That's right.
TwitchCon.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. But anyways, this is a good. This is how you stump up a higher level D&D party. So let's see.
Like,
We'll-
I fight each other.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
I might need to make a new character. Yeah,
Yeah, it's possible. We'll have to see. This is why aberrations are super scary, y'all. Like they don't fight fair, and they make you your own enemy. So
Mhm.
To be fair, I had the best chance. I just rolled a goddamn one. Like,
it's true.
that's what
Yeah,
it's
you
for
tried.
sometimes.
You tried, right? And
Mhm.
yeah, and you used your inspirations earlier. So you
I use
couldn't-
my inspiration for very important shit. Though.
I know, and
Let's be real.
you just didn't have it for that one, and they caught you, and it was perfect. So, anyways, then that will be the end for episode 30 today. Let's go around the horn. LZT.
Thanks for watching, guys. That was a blast. I think I'm to blame for why we're ending a bit early because my bus leaves in 4 hours for the airport, and I
Yeah.
still haven't packed. My suitcase is empty as of right now, so I need to do that.
Just bring
so
vodka.
I can
That's
go
all you need to do.
TwitchCon. And
vodka, that's it.
yeah, so sorry about that, but I got to go. I wasn't sure I was gonna make it at all today, so I'm happy I did.
I'm happy
yeah,
you did
thanks
too.
for
Me
watching.
too.
Yes, this was fun. You can find me at Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at Lima Zulu Tango. I do leatherworking and occasional gaming instead of the other way around. And yeah, thanks for watching, and thank everyone for playing. And thank you, Eric, for leading everything.
You're a leather worker with a gaming addiction.
Yeah, kind of. It used to be, hey, I play games and let's do some leatherworking. And now everyone's like, we want leatherworking. So I'm like, okay, I guess I could do that. Yeah, so that's it's a lot of fun. Henley.
Hey, what up? How's it going? Yeah. This is a very interesting episode. Let me just state this. I would be okay with whatever situation happens to Pinnell. I think like an Icarus situation for him where he got too close to the sun is a fitting death for an adventuring bard, if I could think of anything. So but also the idea that he just like does the Lord of the Rings thing, which is also very appropriate for him, and gets on that ghost ship and goes away. You know? That doesn't bother him either. So I'm very interested to see what happens next time. I think Eric, if you got some time, we should sit down and talk about like a backup character just in case.
I mean, the idea, like, you could have a backup character. I like think about it this way too.
Yeah.
You could totally just like be kind of, like, you just be like a double agent and just play your character until I activate you. So like, there's that too. So like, you could certainly come back for the fight and stuff and be totally normal. So it's we'll see. Yeah,
totally normal. But yeah, so yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. So what, 2 weeks from now we're playing a game?
Yeah,
Is
2
that
weeks.
The story?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. So I need everybody on here for a potential character death stuff. So we'll have to see.
Oh, show.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, Kelson. Oh, before I move on, sorry. You can find all my games over at Steam and YouTube, Steam and Switch. We're going to get another game on Switch right now called Pirates, funnily enough. And what else? Yeah, lots of stuff. I do lots of stuff. I make video games all the time.
Alder's Blood.
Alder's Blood, yeah. Oh, if you're a streamer and you want to get in on that, we're going to do a first act preview event for that. So if you want in, let me know. And yeah, that's me. Thanks.
Casually waving.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hello. I'm Kelsa. I play role-playing games on the internet. When I'm not here being Boschko, you can find me over on my own channel every other Monday. We are playing Consumed, which is a very strange and eldritch role-playing game where we are all the players are the cast of a reality TV show, and you all, the viewers, are the eldritch horrors whom we are putting this show on for. There are specific rules for interactions.
Show me what you've got.
Between chat and ourselves, and if you come and join, you can directly participate by following along with the chat game, which is really cool. On Thursdays, I'm over on Party Wipe Games, where I run a game of Scum and Villainy. I love Scum and Villainy. That game is so much fun, and I'm really enjoying Packet Loss and the whole crew of smugglers who are really is very eclectic. And half the crew is like ace, and the other half is thirsty AF, which is really hilarious. Hijinks ensue. And then on Sundays, I'm over on AP Gaming Reel, where we are playing Game of Thrones House Wars. I play.
Oh, you're in House Wars? Sweet.
Yeah, I play an entire noble house, and I just got to see a preview of my main character's art. She looks amazing. So I'm really excited for that. I've seen some of the other house leaders preview where I don't think that they're going to be shown to the general public until they're all done. So I'm really looking forward to that. That game has been a blast as well. We just had the second episode 2 days ago, once I remember what day it is. So yeah, that's a lot of fun too. So you follow me on Twitter at Kelsa, Twitch, YouTube, it's Kelsa Delphi. And yeah, I always tweet when I'm going live and play lots of games. What about you, Eric? What do you do?
I'm busy. I'm all over the place these days. Just follow me on Twitter everywhere, Eric Fulgaris, for future stuff. Thank you all. Thank you LCT. Thank you Henley. Thank you Kelsa. Thank you chat for hanging out. Thank you everyone who follows on the Greyhawk channel. It's a great place for games. I love playing over here. I love this campaign. We've already been playing for over a year. I know we miss a lot of sessions. I know it's not like we play. You know, we're not at week 52. We're on week 30, right? I think that's pretty normal for groups. But thanks for sticking around and watching and following around. This has been one of my longest running campaigns ever. Definitely one of my longest D&D campaigns. And you know, I know we don't play every week, but I am completely committed to finishing this campaign. This campaign will finish. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna go to the end. We're saving the world. Okay. Hell or high water. We're doing it. Okay. So that's
We'll save the world or we'll watch it burn.
Yeah, that's my promise. All right, everybody. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Take care.